Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. You know, at the end of every year, we often reflect on what has passed, but this year was totally different for me. It wasn't just another year, it was a year that fundamentally transformed my life. I made 3 changes in 2023 that redefined my approach to wellness, relationships, and business. Changes that I never thought I'd make, but now I can't imagine my life without them. And the best part? These changes have set me on a path that's more balanced, fulfilled, and aligned with my truer self more than ever before. In this video, I'm going to share these 3 life-altering lessons with you. Not just what I did, but how these changes have reshaped my entire outlook and what they could potentially do for you. So if you're ready to hear about a journey that just might inspire your own, keep watching. Because trust me, you don't want to miss this. If you're new to the channel, I'm Geronimo and I'm a professional chef and product designer in the San Francisco Bay Area. On this channel, I share food and life recipes to help us lead healthier, happier, and more nourishing lives. The 3 areas I'm going to cover today are wellness, relationships, and business in that order. So for part 1, let's talk about wellness. So in 2023, I gave up drinking alcohol. Quite honestly, it wasn't very difficult to give up drinking, but the struggles that I had were around social expectations. I think it was around February or March where I quit cold turkey. I didn't have a hard time drinking alcohol because I never really drank alcohol at home or bought alcohol for myself personally. It was always only in a social situation with friends to kind of loosen up and kind of have that, liquid courage. And my main motivation for quitting alcohol was one for health reasons. About 5 or 6 years ago, I caught wind that I had elevated liver enzymes in my body. And it wasn't until about last year or so where I was diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So about a year ago, I worked with my primary care provider to figure out what was going on with my liver and was ultimately diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And before you get worried about it, this disease is actually very common in the United States, affecting about 20 or 30% of the population. But I worked with my primary care provider again, and she saw that my liver enzymes had decreased, which was a positive outcome. And she asked me what lifestyle changes I made or anything that was different. And I told her that it's been a couple of months since I drank any alcohol, and everything was kind of consistent and the same, my exercise and my diet. So at that point, we realized and talked about maybe it was cutting out the alcohol that was making all the difference. So I took it upon myself to quit alcohol. It wasn't a hard decision for me to make because I started reading a lot of research, especially from Dr. Andrew Huberman. If you know from my previous videos, he's one of my favorite doctors. But as explained, there is literally 0 benefits to drinking alcohol besides loosening you up and providing you that liquid courage, as I mentioned before. But it literally wreaks havoc on your body in all the ways. So around that time in the first quarter of 2023, I decided to stop drinking alcohol entirely. And to be honest, there has been a lot of health benefits in my life with this lifestyle change. I feel like I've had way more energy, even though I only drink socially very sparingly. But now I don't have to worry about having hangovers or being dehydrated from drinking alcohol. Another plus is not spending $10, $20, $30, $40 on alcohol when going to bars or eating at restaurants. I'll admit it has been a little bit of a lifestyle adjustment when going out with friends, going to breweries where everyone's drinking beers or alcohol and I'm kind of just sitting there drinking water. But it's granted me mental clarity and helped me see things with a clearer picture. And just overall, I'm not really missing drinking alcohol and all of the side effects that come with it, especially after drinking and those hangovers. And it really made me question why I even drank alcohol in the first place. Was it because I had to feel loosened up and less stressed and more confident to hang out with certain friends? Why can't I just enjoy the company that I'm with without alcohol in my purest state? So I'm kind of excited about this one. I'm quitting alcohol probably forever. That really has very little benefits in my life, and there's just way more pros to not drinking it at all. So my takeaway lesson for you is to make health conscious decisions and figure out what's important for your health and your body. So let's talk about part 2, which is relationships. So with my relationships this year, I definitely struggled as I transitioned into full-time entrepreneurship. As I transitioned into entrepreneurship, one thing rang true to myself, and here's a quote that I kept playing over and over in my head, which was I gave up the 9-to-5 job working 40 hours a week to be an entrepreneur and work 60 hours a week, but love what I do. So safe to say, I didn't have a lot of time to spend on community and building relationships as I was very focused on building my various businesses. I started my own independent consulting, design practice, career coaching for designers, kicking off my content creator career, and also working in food service as a chef. So it honestly left me little time to connect and deepen my relationships with my friends. And I had to focus on spending more time on the business or building relationships with the people I was working with in my businesses. And to be quite honest, jumping into full-time entrepreneurship in 2023 was quite the lonely and isolating experience. I spent a lot of time by myself in my office in front of my computer, working on all my different businesses and building my standard operating procedures and systems to kind of work more efficiently. So a lot of time and energy was dedicated to that. But one of the key relationships for me in 2023 was, of course, with my partner and girlfriend, or fiance, because we're getting married in 2024, was Kelsey, as she was my main point of support. She was very instrumental in this journey of supporting me in this transition into full-time entrepreneurship. You know, we lived together and we had to make key decisions financially about how we were going to proceed into the next year and where we're living next and how we're deciding to live together and make decisions together. We had to make certain agreements on if I was going to pay more for this or less for that, which was very helpful for me as we would half and half, 50-50 everything. But knowing now that my income is a bit more variable and uncertain, we had to make these key financial decisions together as a partnership and as my significant other. So my takeaway lesson for you is to stress the importance of communication, support, and connection with your loved ones. Because ultimately, as I mentioned, it's health, relationships, and business in that order. So you want to get your health in order to have all that energy. You want to have your relationships in order as well with your loved ones and the people you care about. Because if you're doing all your business stuff and building your success and your wealth and your outcomes and your impact, but you don't have those fundamental things around health and relationships, who are you going to share your wins with and feel fulfilled with? So on this journey of entrepreneurship or anything that you're doing in your own life, I just want to stress that make time for your loved ones and remember they're here to support you. And let's talk about part 3, which is business. So this year I've been working on many projects and found myself working all the time. Imagine editing videos for over 10 hours a week, having to cook my own lunches and dinners, not just for the videos, but for my own personal health at home and for my partner, Kelsey. So you can imagine that all that cooking, cleaning, working took so much time, and I had to make some strategic changes to reserve and create more space and time for myself and energy. So I started to focus my energy around time management and outsourcing some tasks. So one of the biggest changes I made this year, and this is a life hack and secret for you content creators out there, is to get yourself an editor. Like as I mentioned, I was spending over 10 hours a week editing my long form and short form videos, which ate up so much of my weekly time where I needed to focus on higher ROI activities. So I got an editor and it was well worth it, saving me those 10 hours plus a week. And now I could focus on more higher ticket items, getting more clients, and increasing my revenue in different ways. Another thing was shifting to getting my lunches delivered to me. Trust me, I would be that person who thought I was saving more money by cooking my own lunches and probably eating healthier by cooking my own lunches as well. But the truth is, it took me so much time and energy to meal plan, to purchase those ingredients, to cook them on Sundays, to meal plan for my lunches every week, and then to clean up all the dishes in the kitchen that I made preparing those meals. So it's safe to say that took a lot of time and energy. So outsourcing my lunches and getting them delivered to me, I started using Thistle. I'll leave a referral link down below. And the reason why it's a game changer is initially I thought it was kind of expensive, spending around $18, $19, $20 per lunch every day. But when you take into account, as I mentioned before, the meal planning, sourcing the ingredients, the time to cook them, and then the time to clean up. Honestly, that price for each salad or lunch is well worth it to me. And there are many other ways I've been saving time and energy by outsourcing certain tasks. So my takeaway for you is to evaluate your work strategies and think about how you can enhance your work efficiency by outsourcing tasks. So to recap all the key points in this video, number one, it's important to make health-conscious decisions and listen to your own body. Lesson number two is to stress the importance of communication and support and creating quality time with your loved ones. And lesson three is to evaluate your work strategies and think about how you can enhance your efficiency by outsourcing tasks. So thank you for watching this video, and if you found any value in it, please leave a like and subscribe, as that really helps my channel. Leave some comments down below to tell me more about what you want to learn about or what I can share more on this channel. And if you enjoyed this video, check out this video here where I share some small changes someone can make to be successful in their 20s and beyond. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.